Hey everyone, this is the movie Maniac. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking about the Addams Family 2019. This is an animated version of Charles Addams' series of cartoons about a peculiar, ghoulish family. This time it's bumped down to a PG rating. It's an hour and 27 minutes, and the question is this a worthy entry into the ongoing Addams Family legacy? So I do think many of you out there are like me and got into Addams Family with the first movie from 1991, which I haven't seen in a long time, but I remember thinking it's a good film. Oddly enough, the one that I've probably revisited the most and gave another viewing recently is Addams Family Values, which I do enjoy, and it seems to me that most of the people that quote those movies tend to quote the second film.
Why are you dressed like that?
Like what?
Like you're going to a funeral. Why are you dressed like somebody died?
Wait.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
What's odd, though, is I don't know how well made of a film Addams Family Values is, even though it's very enjoyable, and part of me kind of loves it. But for whatever reason, even though I seem to have a blurry memory of that original 1991 film, it still seems like I remember saying that that was a slightly better made movie. But with that all out of the way, I just want to make it known that all the ingredients for a satisfactory Addams Family picture are here. Whether or not they use them as much as they should is another question, and something we'll get to in a minute. I thought Chloe Grace Moretz did a fantastic job as Wednesday Addams here. You can tell she was really channeling Christina Ricci's version of the character. I would not be surprised if we hear in interviews or through some sort of director's commentary that she went back and basically just lived off those original two live-action movies from 91 and 93 for months and just basically became that character when she went to voice her. All the other characters are great and behave exactly how they should and how you'd expect them to. So there really are no complaints as far as all of that is concerned. The entire film maintains a certain level of consistency. It never really peaks and it never really craters. It's all sort of a consistent baseline from beginning to end, which makes it a lot easier to adjust to and get comfortable with. The animation style in this movie, I remember when it was first announced and revealed to us, I was a little apprehensive about it, because it is weird. I know the Addams Family is weird too, so you could justify the pairing of those things being natural, but I actually came to embrace it, and it really does work, especially in 3D, which I managed to catch this in. If you have the opportunity to watch an upgraded viewing of this, I am going to recommend that. So given that this is a PG-rated film, I was very worried that we were going to lose a lot of the really edgy and morbid humor that the 1991 and 1993 pictures were able to push. And that is something that made them so quirky and unique and shocking. Even to this day, a lot of that comedy is just kind of almost uncomfortable at times. And I will say that especially in the beginning, they do make an effort to kind of push things a bit to where, when compared to modern family films, because obviously this is going to be geared a bit toward kids, it's going to be something that they're not used to seeing. And I say that in a good way. I do think it forgets about it a little at the end, but at the end of the day, I will give credit that they at least kept it in mind, and you can tell they tried their best to dance between the two and still somehow get away with a PG rating. When I go to watch an Addams Family film, I'm not expecting a great movie. This does not need to be a top 100 favorites of all time contender. This just needs to be a picture where I probably pay more attention to the set design, the wardrobe, the morbid sense of humor, the performances, and really just the overall vibe. That's what I went into this for, and I will say that it pretty much delivered on all of those fronts. I do think this series should head in one of two directions. The first idea is that we make a follow-up live-action movie from Addams Family Values, and we just go ahead and don't try to make anyone younger. We actually acknowledge the exact amount of time that's passed by. A lot of these actors are older now. Raul Julia has passed away, and we kind of acknowledge all of that in this sequel. I think audiences are prepared for sequel/reboots to older movies. I don't think audiences are in love with remakes. They would rather have sequels, and this would be a great opportunity. You would probably have to recast Christopher Lloyd because I believe he's in his 80s now. I don't think he'd want to get under all that makeup, but I don't believe it would be too hard to find someone else that could fill those shoes. Maybe they'd never be as great as what he brought, but you could sneak by with it to some extent. I think that would be a blast. I would welcome that idea. I would definitely see it opening night, and hopefully it would work out the way we would want it to. The second idea is to basically just go ahead and stick with this animation style that Addams Family 2019 has and make a television series, maybe 10, 11, 12 episodes, put it on whatever streaming platform you can imagine, call the show Wednesday, and just follow Wednesday Addams. Of course, the rest of the Addams Family would be there. They'd be more supporting characters, and you would get a lot of them, obviously, just because of the content of the show, but it would really be Wednesday's show, and I think that there is a real appetite for a Wednesday show or movie, and this seems like the perfect way to do it. So putting all that aside, guys, I'm going to give the Addams Family 2019 a 6.5 out of 10. If you're a big fan of this, you should probably check it out in theaters. Again, I do recommend a 3D viewing if possible. If you're a little bit more detached from this series, but you still have appreciation for it, I would say that it would be a perfectly fine rental. My concern is that this is one of those pictures that you just kind of quickly forget. I don't know how much staying power this animated version is going to have with audiences. I could just see people tallying up their list at the end of the year of movies they watched and just forgetting about this one. That would be a real shame. And the reason it would be a shame is not because this is a great film. It obviously isn't. But I want this to do well so it can give birth to more things within those characters, that universe, in different versions of this. Alright, what did you think of the Addams Family? Do you think this one is a worthy entry, or do you feel that maybe they need to just go ahead and scrap this, leave it alone? Or do you like one of the ideas that I pitched earlier? Leave your comment below, let's get into this. And also make sure to hit that notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay inside the mind of a movie maniac.